Do you ever feel like your hooded eyes are just making your makeup really challenging? Stick around because by the end of this video, you're going to be mastering those hooded eyes. Today, I'm sharing my top tips and tricks to make your hooded eyes pop effortlessly. First things first, let's talk about hooded eyes and what they really are. Hooded eyes refer to a specific eye shape where the eyelid crease is not readily visible because it's mostly covered by a fold of skin. Due to the hooding, there's less visible space between the lash line and the eyebrow compared to other shapes. Some people like me have hooded eyes from birth, but others can develop them as they age. Let's dive into the magic of eye primer. I have two eye primers here. Since we're dealing with an extra layer of skin that droops over the crease of the eyelid, using an eyeshadow primer is a must. The primer will help our eyeliner stay put, it will ensure a smooth application of the makeup, and it will also improve the longevity. I have two of these, one is by Urban Decay and the other is by Revlon. The Urban Decay cost me around $18 and the Revlon cost me about $4. Honestly, I can tell no difference in these, and both are very hydrating to the eye, and they also control the oils on my eyelids. In this next step, I'm going to combine a little bit of that eyeshadow and a little bit of my Estee Lauder Double Wear Concealer. I'm doing it this way because when I put this on my eyelid, it's going to cancel out all the colors that are going on my eyelid. And then when I put my eyeshadow on, we're going to see more of the true colors that I actually put on. But I want to be clear, this is not something that you have to do. It's just an option. And now it's very easy to see that we have a clean canvas to start working on. Next up, let's talk eyeshadow. To keep things really simple, I'm just going to use my dual-ended brush by Sigma, and that way you know exactly what I'm using the whole time. I'm using my Morphe eyeshadow palette called Rich and Foiled Gold Seeker Eyeshadow Palette. Starting out with the lightest color, I'm going to take that all over my lid from the top to the bottom, and I'm using the fluffy side of my brush to do this. In between different colors, I'm definitely going to be using my Sigma switch to clean off my brush. Next, with the fluffy side of the brush, I'm going to grab the next lightest color on the palette. Let's test to make sure it's not too dark. Now raise the eyes up and feel for the eye socket. That is going to be the closest to any crease that we have. Even if you have a lot of flesh on your eyes, you can use your finger to help pull it up. Feel for where that is and begin your medium color eyeshadow there. Then we're going to blend this from the eye socket slightly up. With hooded eyes, we don't have the same sort of depth or dimension as other eye shapes, so most of our efforts are basically creating that depth and dimension. Now all we're really doing is creating a gradient from the darker color to the lighter color, starting at the crease and going up. Once I've got enough color on, I'm going to clean my brush to remove any excess, and then I'm going to slightly blend the edges until everything looks nice and smooth. Next, I'm going to grab a darker color with the smaller end of my brush. This next part is going to open up the eyes and make the crease appear higher. Relax your face and look dead ahead in the mirror. Wherever the flesh sits on top of your eye when it's open, that's exactly how high your eyeshadow has to come for it to look right for hooded eyes. Now that you understand where the eyeshadow needs to go, I'm going to show you on my other eye how quick this can be. Using my fluffy brush, I'm taking the second color. It's going in that faux crease that we have, and I'm just blending it. Blend, blend, blend. Cleaning the brush off, blending the sides until everything looks nice and smooth. Now we're grabbing color number 3, the darkest color. We know exactly where it has to go, and so we're adding that softly. So it's light color, medium color, dark color. And I've used the same fluffy brush on all 3, just cleaning it in between. Now that we've got the hard part done, we can focus on the movable lid. With this smaller flat brush, we're going to take the medium color and we're just going to tap it on the outer half of the movable lid. Next, I'm going to use whatever is left on that brush and softly bring it under my eyes to frame the eyes and make them look a little bit bigger. To make that tiny little movable lid look a little larger, And to make the eyes pop, I'm going to add a little shimmer on the inner part of the eye and then blend it toward the center. Next up, let's tackle eyeliner. The key is to avoid making your eyes look smaller. So instead of a thick line, go for a thin, precise line as close to the lash line as possible. I have become a real fan of this liquid liner over the last few weeks. It's by Prometics. It goes on nice and smooth, designed for mature women, and it doesn't bother my eyes. But the trick is to use whatever works for you that you can create a thin line with. Now I'm going to slope this eyeliner, and what that means is that you start gradually at the inner corner and then thicken it as you get toward that outer corner. When you get to the outer corner, stop before you extend it past the hood. That way everything tucks back under that hood when your face is relaxed. Now, if your eyeliner isn't perfect, especially on the outer side of that eyeliner, you can just take a small brush with a little bit of your darker eyeshadow and just tap it over that part. I actually think this looks really pretty whether I make a mistake or not, but it's also a nice way to fix mistakes. It's time to clean my brush one more time because I've got a little bit more blending to do on that outer corner just to make sure everything looks really smooth. I want you to take your eyeliner and I want you to go right underneath your lashes. Lining the top waterline, also known as tight lining, on hooded eyes can have several benefits. It really intensifies the lash line and defines it without adding bulk or thickness to the eyelid. It also makes the eyes appear more open and defined, and it creates the illusion of thicker lashes. Really wiggle it through your lashes to get the most defined look. Now let's talk about mascara and hooded eyes. Mascara is like your best friend when it comes to opening up the eyes. And here's a little trick. Always start with your lower lashes first. That way you don't get any mascara transfer from your upper lashes if they're not dry. Start by curling your lashes to give them a nice lift. With hooded eyes, our lashes often touch the lid, so a transfer-proof formula is a must to avoid any smudging. Apply mascara to your upper lashes, focusing on the roots and wiggling the wand upward. Now let's talk about that little bit of droop where my eyeshadow is literally dragging my eye down. Let me show you a couple of ways to make this look better. With eyes relaxed, tap concealer over the eyeshadow that's causing the eye to look droopy. You're creating a lifted line and then blending it with the finger. Now you can see the difference. We're not drooping, and even from the side, it looks softer and not droopy. If that's not soft enough for you, take a little tiny bit of concealer on your finger and pat it just over the edge of the eyeshadow. This will soften any harsh lines and edges. If you found these tips helpful, you're going to love my next video. You can look good in makeup over 50. It's packed with insider secrets to achieve that flawless finish at any age. Click here to watch now, and let's keep this beauty journey going together. Thanks for watching, beauties. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more makeup tips and tricks. Until next time, stay beautiful.